got it better than us!
Your home for the best sports coverage in Utah. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ed, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for the top three stories of the day at KSLSports.com. It's brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number one, big news from the Hill. Yesterday, Devon Dampier announces his return to Utah. That means the Utes will have both quarterbacks returning.
In my opinion, this is the single biggest news that could have happened to Utah this offseason. Witt coming back, Morgan Scalley taking over, whoever the offensive coordinator was going to be, yada, yada, yada. Truth is, the game is won on the field, and the game is won by who has the ball in their hands most of the time. And Devon Dampier and Bird Ficklin proved to be a very dynamic offensive duo, and I think it's fair to expect they could be better next year. Now, they could be worse because they do no longer have Jason Beck, who was very good at operating with players in that realm, in that ilk. But those two coming back, had they not, it wouldn't have crippled the Utah football team next year, but it would have made it really, really difficult to have any expectations for them. Am I overstating it?
I don't know. I don't. I am so tired of this going and staying and whatever. I'm very close to not caring who's on the team at all anymore. What's Devon Dampier's number? I'm just going to call him by his number. You come in, go.
Yeah.
You know, it's go find a guy. It's probably going to be different than the guy last year and next year and whatever. Like, part of me, and
Four, by the way, Devon.
And I understand why you have that take, and I'm not even saying that it's wrong. I'm saying I'm tired of wasting energy on this. Number 4 is back, terrific. Well, number 12 probably would be just as good. So why do I even care?
I do feel that way with most positions. I don't feel that way with quarterback.
I just feel that way overall. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just tired of spending energy on it. Like, people just glued to the snap talk. Like, is he going to announce it? Is it going to be this? What the Smith Snowden did the M thing yesterday on the snap talk or whatever, and
number 2, by the way, Smith Snowden.
Yeah, number 2 throws the horns down or whatever. It's M.
Yeah.
Gosh, what? I'm tired of wasting energy on it. You know what? And if anything at the University of Utah that I've come to understand is that cornerbacks in particular are replaceable because they seem to replace them all the time. Well, who's going to be the next Jalen Johnson? Well, the first Jalen Johnson was going all the way back to the dang late 90s and talking about those guys.
Yeah.
Talking about Arnold Parker and all these guys that were just freaking studs. They find a different one every year. So why should I waste energy on this other than the bitterness factor if he does in fact go to Michigan, which I'm always in for some bitterness.
But I'm with you. And that is how I feel about the transfer portal at Utah. Defensive side. Yeah, would it be better if you had all these great transfers coming in? Absolutely. And guys who make plays. And is it better that you got Jonathan Hall back than lose him? Of course. You would rather have John Henry Daly here than have to go out and find his replacement. Do I trust that Morgan Scalley can find his replacement? I do. I have no basis to believe that Morgan Scalley can replace quarterbacks. And that doesn't mean he can't, but just we've never seen him have to do that before. So not having to redesign an entire offense, because I still think Utah next year is going to win a lot of games because of their offense, is a major, major plus for the program to allow Morgan to hit the ground running and credit whatever Mark Harlan or Morgan or whoever had to do, Spence Eccles, to keep those two players specifically, Bird and more importantly Devon Dampier, apparently in a Utah uniform.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was sink or swim based on that. I mean, what's that horrible fiction sports book? Moneyball.
Well, I think the book is accurate. The movie's not.
The whole premise was, how is this franchise going to possibly even keep the doors open without Jason Giambi and
Miguel Tejada?
Trade him? He was still on the team. Yeah. It was Jason Giambi and who was the closer? They lost a closer and then they lost Johnny Damon to
Boston.
Uh-huh. And they how on earth are they going to possibly continue? Well, the truth was the super bad guy had a secret formula that was going to win them the title.
Right.
If I remember that movie correctly.
Uh-huh.
Had nothing to do with.
I have a math equation that'll win us the championship, and it didn't have to do with they have Roy Halladay or whatever.
They had the best pitching staff in the league, and the AL MVP Miguel Tejada,
and Rookie of the Year,
who somehow didn't make it into the movie.
Yeah,
no,
overlook him.
It was about the
Scott Hatterfield.
It's about the Cleveland Browns assistant GM who figured out a way to math it. Yeah, what was that idiot first baseman's name who took walks more than
Hatterberg, not Hatterfield. Hatterberg.
Silliness.
Yeah.
But anywho, that whole thing was about players being absolutely replaceable by a math equation, apparently. So I will be happy when this is all over, except for it never ends. They say, well, the transfer portal closes on Friday? What will stop a player from just saying, I'm out of here?
Nothing. Right. No, ideally it slows down teams contacting players, but then, as Mark Ottawaya said, and then it just opens up again, and then it's a free-for-all, and then it's a mad dash to the finish line. But I'm with you. Jake Murphy, who I really like a lot, the former Utah tight end, had a tweet the other day who said, like, if you don't like free agency in college football anymore, it's not for you. And outside of this being our job, I completely agree. It's probably just not for me anymore. I'm with you. I don't care. I don't care about the TikTok. I don't care about Twitter. I don't care about the I'm coming, I'm going. What does matter is opening night for Utah, who's going to be on the field. And I wish I could skip over all of this nonsense and all the drama involved with it and just say, you got a good team this year? Obviously, that's not what our jobs allow us to do. But I feel for fans. This is nonsense. This is pathetic.
It's funny that you bring up Jake Murphy, and then we can move on. Because there was a narrative around Jake when he left early to the NFL that, Utah hasn't had a good tight end in a decade. They're never going to be able to replace Jake Murphy. Are you kidding? They can't recruit tight ends to Utah. Yeah, that didn't.
And since they've had a run of the greatest tight ends they've ever had.
Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, guys who were playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
A guy who had 300 yards against Stinkin' Riley in USC.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, a guy who got...
Jake Murphy, not replaceable. No offense, Jake, but
actually,
very replaceable.
Actually, quite. Yeah. No, Jake was a really good player.
He was awesome.
Yeah, no question
He was the best tight end they'd had in 10 years.
Right. But then you just you just move on. So, yes, to undermine my point is, you really need to have Devon Dampier and Bird Ficklin around until you find the next guy.
Until you don't.
You're never going to replace Cam Rising until you have two guys who are pretty good.
What's next?
Number 2, we got the Jazz at the Bulls tonight. Lauri Markkanen has been a late add to the injury report.
Questionable with an illness. Didn't specify what the illness was, but it has been going around.
Well, he's going to go out there and ragdoll his old team.
Well, he just did it against Cleveland.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Lowry revenge tour.
Yeah, motivated.
Well, the Jazz can beat Chicago without Lowry, though. The last time they played without Lowry, they lost by 55 to the Charlotte Hornets. So,
well, the key is Lowry and Nurk.
Is Nurk not playing?
I don't know.
I think Nurk is available.
But that was the key
Absolutely.
to the downfall against Charlotte.
Yes.
Both those guys being out in tandem. Because actually, Lowry, I mean, I know we have a tough time getting over narratives, but has played pretty tough all season.
Absolutely.
He had 12 rebounds against Cleveland.
He had 6 rebounds, I think, in the first quarter or 5, and it was just like he's
against their front line in particular. Like, he's playing tough.
He is having an impact on the game beyond shooting,
Yeah.
which was not true, and it's why I've been historically a little skeptical on Lowry, because I don't care if you're 7 feet tall if your best skill is shooting. Now, it's great to be a 7-foot shooter, but do you do other things that are valuable that 7-footers do? Like rebound, like throw bodies around in the paint, like draw a ton of fouls on a mismatch. And he started doing that. I mean, he had Sam Merrill in hell all game, because if you switched on to him, it was a bucket, and the Cavaliers had no idea what to do, because I think they thought they could get away with bullying him with the smaller player, and you can't do that anymore.
No. And if you can't do any of that stuff Ben was talking about, be like Kelly Olynyk and just be able to stab somebody in the eyeball with your finger.
Figure out how to dislocate a shoulder.
Yeah.
Poor Kevin Love.
Poor Kevin Love. We should ask him about that.
I bet he wouldn't talk about it.
Really?
Actually, I don't know. He talks about everything.
It kind of feels like he does. Do it off mic. You can just sell him out.
He might
for
do it on mic. He may not care. Lowry just got a text. He's been downgraded to doubtful.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But
rough illness.
Getting worse.
in all honesty, if people want to talk about what's the difference between beating Cleveland and losing to Charlotte, the answer is how many bigs you dress.
Let me pull this up really quick. I wonder if the Jazz have a new cooler. because I don't think it's Cody Williams anymore.
Oh, after his plus-minus against Charlotte, it might still be Cody Williams.
It could be. I wonder if it's Taylor Hendricks.
Yeah.
Jazz didn't play him against Cleveland, and they won. And that's not to say it's all on Taylor, but Taylor has clearly just not fully rebounded to the player he was going into his second season.
Well, he's still got a long way to go from a skill standpoint, which was always true. All right, what's next?
Number 3, the Mammoth played one of their best games of the season last night. They beat the Maple Leafs 6-1. Dylan Guenther had 2 goals.
We talked to Cole Bagley yesterday on the show, and we did ask about, looks like Dylan Guenther's being moved down to the third line, not playing in the top 6, and then Daniil Boots moving up to the second line. Daniil Boots, a true rookie, and all of those guys scored. Daniil Boot had a goal, his second of the season, I think, and Dylan Guenther had 2 within a minute in the second period when it went from 1 to 3 and essentially put Toronto away. And again, that was an 8 p.m. tip-off because the game was on ESPN Plus and Hulu. It's not like it was the easiest game to find, but a nice performance on national TV. They're playing well.
Here's my hot take, Ben.
Let's hear it.
They should score 6 every game.
That'd be helpful. And you know what they should also do? Allow 1.
Yeah.
Veg. Get back to being veg last year.
Look out, Superbad guys. We've cracked hockey.
I care less about...
I have a formula. Be +5 in every game.
I care less about the 1 and more about the 6. And here's why. I'm going to use my Witt logic, my Kyle Whittingham analytics logic. What percentage of NHL games do you think are won by a team that scores 6 goals?
Oh, it's got to be 85, 90% at least.
Key to the game. That's it. You want to be a successful hockey coach?
Yep. Score a lot of goals.
Tell your team to score 6 goals a game. Bam. Done.
That
Don't argue with the math, Ben.
That was a little bit of Witt's logic.
Don't argue with the math.
That's how they lost to BYU. What did Sergachev do last night? He's been on a little bit of a heater. Did he have another point last night? No, he was just +1. He's been +1. So Sergachev has been one of the more disappointing players for the team this year after a pretty good season last year. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row, they've been +1 with him on the ice. They've been better than they have been worse. And that was not the case to start the season.
Dylan Guenther had 3 points last night, right?
Yep.
2 goals and an assist?
Yep.
What percentage of games do you think the Mammoth win when Dylan Guenther has 3 points?
Maybe 100%.
Key to the game.
We need to get Guenther going.
That you win every game.
Yep.
All right. There you go. That's my advice for the Mammoth. Stay tuned. More next. We got to get to this Rich Paul stuff at some point.
It is great. I'm glad you brought it up.
Dying
I was
to
bring
get
it
to
up.
it. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.